La Fontaine's Fables, the Milan, the King and the Hunter. To His Serene Highness Monsignor, the Prince of Conti. As the gods are good, they want the kings. Be so too, it's indulgence. Who is the most beautiful of their rights? Not the sweets of vengeance. Prince, that's your opinion. We know that wrath extinguishes in your heart as soon as you see it born there. Achilles, who of his own could not be master, was by that way less hero than you. This title belongs only to those of men, which, as in the Golden Age, make 100 goods here on earth. Few great are born such in this age when we are. The universe is grateful to them for the evil they do not do. Far from following these examples, 1,000 generous acts promise you temples. Apollo, a citizen of these august places, pretend to celebrate your name on his lyre. I know we're waiting for you in the palace of the gods. A century of stay here must suffice for you. Hymen wants to stay with you for a century. May his sweetest pleasures compose of destinies by this barely limited weather. And you and the princess deserve no less. I take his charms as witnesses. For witnesses I take the wonders of it. By whom heaven, for you prodigal in its presence, qualities that have only in you their peers wanted to adorn your young years. Bourbon of his spirit these seasoned graces. Heaven joined in his person. What knows how to be estimated? To what knows how to be loved? It is not for me to spread out your joy. So I keep my mind, and I'm gonna rhyme. What a bird of prey did a Milan, from its ancient nest possessor, being caught alive by a hunter. To make a gift to the prince, this man offers himself. The rarity of the fact gave price to the thing. The bird, by the humbly presented. If this tale is not apocryphy, go straight print his claw on his majesty's nose. What? On the king's nose? From the king even in person. Then he had neither scepter nor crown? When he had it, it would have been a whole thing. The royal nose was taken as a common nose. Say of the courtiers the clamors and the pain would be consumed in powerless efforts. The king did not break out, the cries are indecent. To the sovereign majesty. The bird kept his post, we could not only hasten her departure for a while. His master reminds him, and shouts, and tormented. He presents the lower, and the fist, but in vain. It was believed that until the next day, the damned animal in the insolent greenhouse nest there despite the noise, and on the sacred nose would like to spend the night. Trying to get him out of it irritated his whim. He finally left the king, who said, "Let go this Milan, and the one who thought I was a feast." They both discharged their offices. One in Milan, and the other as a citizen of the woods. For me, who know how the kings, I free them from torment. And the courtyard to admire, the courtiers relisted. Rise such facts, by them so badly followed. Very few, even kings, would take such a model. And the winner escaped him beautiful? Only guilty, both him and the animal. Ignoring the danger of getting too close to the master. They didn't get to know. Then the hosts of the woods, was it such a great evil? Pilpay makes near the Ganges arrive the adventure. There, no human creature does touch animals for their blood spill. The king himself would be scrupled to touch it. We know, they say, whether this bird of prey wasn't it at the siege of Troy. Perhaps there was a prince or a hero. From the most upscale and tallest. What it once was, it can still be. We believe, after Pythagoras, that with shape animals we change. Sometimes Milans, sometimes pigeons. Sometimes human, then volatile. Having their families in the air. As one tails in two ways. The hunter accident, here's the other way. A certain falconer having taken, that saying, hunting a Milan, which hardly happens, wanted the king to give a gift. As a singular thing. This case does not happen sometimes in 100 years. It's not the ultra of falconry. So this hunter pierces a lot of courtesans. Full of zeal, heated, if he was in his life. Through this paragon of the present. He thought his fortune was made. When the doorbell bare. Wild again and all rudden. With his nails all of steel. Take the hunter's nose, catch the poor sire. Him to scream, each of laughing. Monarch and courtiers. Who wouldn't have laughed? As for me, I wouldn't have left my share for an empire. Let a pope laugh, in good faith. I dare not to assure, but I would hold a king. Unfortunate, if he didn't dare laugh. It's the pleasure of the gods. Despite his black worry. Jupiter and the immortal people also laughs. He shattered it, as history says. When Vulcan came to give him a drink. Whether the immortal people should be wise, or not. I changed my subject with good reason. Because, since this is a matter of moral. That we had from the hunter the fatal adventure. Taught again? We've seen from all times. More fools falconers than forgiving kings.